If you're trying to figure out whether it's better to buy a condo or a house to live in, this video is for you. Today, I'll be breaking down what happens if you use the same amount of cash for each option, buying a condo or buying a house to house hack by renting part of it out. The goal, let's see which one gives you better cash flow management, debt management, and ultimately gives you the best returns. But before we do, don't forget, if you find this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more Toronto real estate investing tips, and if you want to chat one-on-one, you can always book a call with us. First up, let's look at the simplest choice between a condo and a bungalow with a basement rental. Here's a setup. You could either put 20% down on a 2-bedroom condo in Toronto for around $750,000 these days, or use the same cash to buy a $950,000 house where you live on the main floor and rent the basement out. For the condo, you'll need around $175,000 upfront, which would give you $600,000 of mortgage, meaning that you'll need to qualify with a combined family annual income of around $120,000. For the bungalow, the down payment will be higher, around $225,000 with a 20% down payment. With a mortgage of $760,000, that means that you will need a combined family income of $135,000 to qualify. Now, the monthly carrying costs here are actually pretty different. For the condo, you're looking at around $3,700 out of pocket per month. For the bungalow, renting out the basement does help you offset some of your costs, and so your monthly out-of-pocket amount goes down to $2,350 per month. When we look at cash flow and principal paydown over the year, the house actually ends up around $14,000 better off compared to the condo. So if we stop here, the house hack bungalow, house hack just means that you're renting out part of the house, is a stronger choice. All right. Now, let's say we could stretch our mortgage approval to put less down on the house. If we go with an insured mortgage and put down 15% on the bungalow, you end up with approximately the same upfront cash as the condo option, $175,000, with around an $800,000 mortgage. This does change things slightly. Your income requirement to get that bigger mortgage does go up to $140,000. Now, let's look at monthly costs. The house with the lower down payment means that the out-of-pocket amount goes up to $2,600 per month, but that's still lower than the condo. Over a year, the house setup still outperforms the condo. So with this tweak, the house still holds the advantage. Next, let's see what happens if you go for a house hack that takes things up a notch. Let's say you buy a 2-story semi-detached home for around $900,000 as well. It's about the same price as the bungalow because it is attached to a neighbor on a smaller lot and also needs around $150,000 of work to make it into 3 units. But with the setup, you would live in 1 unit and rent out 2 other units. So financially, you only need the same amount upfront, $175,000, but you do need to qualify for much more, close to $1 million in loans to cover both the purchase and the renovations, which means that your family combined income needs to be at least $170,000 each year. When you take on a project like this though, your monthly costs end up dropping down to $1,000 out of pocket each month once the conversion is done, even though you're taking on a bigger loan. The key here isn't the size of debt, but how well it works for you. That larger loan actually helps you earn more in rental income, which means that your overall returns are positive even before you take into account appreciation. Think of that $1,000 you pay each month as money going straight into your mortgage piggy bank, and that money is essentially yours in the end. In other words, you're actually living for free. Now, here is some extra good news. Starting January 15th, 2025 next year, new government programs will make it easier for you to finance these types of projects, especially if you are living in one of the units. Just note that the maximum property value once it's completed cannot exceed $2 million. The extra financing cannot exceed your project cost, and the property can have up to 4 units. A quick heads up, you will need to own the property before applying, so it's a good idea to start the property search now since typical closing periods are around 2 months in Toronto. If you are curious to learn more about the strategy, let's chat. We can walk you through how it all works and help you figure out the best way to approach it. We're not just another real estate sales brokerage. We're experienced investors in Toronto, especially when it comes to multiplexes. Whether you want to buy a property that's ready to rent out or you want to convert one into multiple units, we can help. Here's what it's like to work with us. We'll take the time to understand your goals, help you find great investment opportunities using numbers, and eventually help you buy the option that fits you best. Need renovations? We can connect you to trusted contractors as you manage your project, and we'll be around to coach you along the way too. Once it's done, we can lease and manage the property for you as well. Ready to get started? Just head over to this link here and let's chat.